our soldiers need and our people, and at least the security of Europe.
There are two Trump updates. The former president's lawyers have filed attempts to dismiss another criminal case, the one in Florida over classified documents, claiming he has presidential immunity. The same claim being made in a Trump attempt to get the federal election-related indictment thrown out. In New York, the judge who ruled the Trump organization committed fraud rejected an attempt to delay enforcement.
They gave me a fine of $355 million for doing nothing wrong.
The former president last night at a religious broadcasters forum in Nashville.
It's all a big hoax.
The South Carolina Republican primaries tomorrow. Polls show a big Trump lead over Nikki Haley. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! And call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of consumer cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
AT&T is apologizing for yesterday's cell phone disruptions, blaming a technical issue, not a cyber attack. At the peak of the outages, there were more than 70,000 AT&T customers reporting issues, making calls or using some apps. The trial continues today in New Mexico in a case stemming from the 2021 shooting during the filming of Rust. Cinematographer Helena Hutchins was killed. The director was wounded.
The evidence is going to show that on October 21st, it was a fairly chaotic day on the set of the movie.
Prosecutor Jason Lewis starting to make the case against Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, who's charged with involuntary manslaughter. She was the armorer in charge of weapons on the set, but her lawyer, Jason Bowles, argues
we are going to, through the course of this case, show you that production and the state have both very early on sought to make Hannah Gutierrez-Reed a scapegoat.
The gun went off in actor Alec Baldwin's hands. He claims he didn't pull the trigger, but is also facing his own involuntary manslaughter trial later. In Texas, a judge has ruled in favor of a high school that suspended a student over his hair.
Daryl George and his family say his hairstyle should be protected under a new state law banning race-based hair discrimination. The school says George's hair is in violation of its dress code due to the length of his dreadlocks. Texas Coalition of Black Democrats chairwoman Candace Matthews says George is extremely disappointed with the judge's ruling.
Daryl made this statement and told me this straight up with tears in his eyes. All because of my hair. I can't get my education because of my hair. I cannot be around other peers and enjoy my junior year because of my hair.
Matthews says George's in-school suspension will continue. A federal lawsuit is in the works. Tom Rigotti, Fox News.
On Wall Street today, after a big rally that put the Dow and the S&P 500 at record highs, futures are mixed. They're up for the Dow, down a little for the NASDAQ. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Men charged in the shooting death of a manager of Poor Brothers Craft Taproom earlier this month, pleading not guilty. Fidel Chimenga faces up to life in prison if convicted. Brandon Hardaway died after being shot in the back outside the taproom February 8th. Police say Hardaway shot after he refused a cigarette to a man. Illinois roads deadlier last year than the previous. Illinois transportation officials say fatalities on state roadways increased by 29 incidents, 1,275 in 2022. Road fatalities had fallen by more than 100. Officials blame distracted driving and mistakes made behind the wheel, such as driving intoxicated, to blame for the increase. Unranked Penn State upset number 12 Illinois in a 90-89 win at Rec Hall. Illini led by 7 with under a minute left in regulation before the Nittany Lions went on an 8-0 run to end the game. The Illini host Iowa Saturday. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Hey, good morning. It's Friday. A week from today, we'll be talking about Isn't this March? A week? Yeah, a week from today is March.
It is. Oh, my goodness.
And then March 10, we spring ahead on the clocks, lose the daylight in the morning.
That's
but
right.
Gather it in the evening. Meteorologist Greg Solier brought to you this morning by Carl.
Carl reminds you, you deserve the best in heart care. Carl Heart and Vascular Institute offers specialized care to keep your heart happy and healthy. Visit carl.org to learn more.
Well, Mr. Meteorologist Greg Solier, we're looking at, again, another gorgeous, little cooler morning, but beautiful across East Central Illinois.
Absolutely, yes. Some cloudiness lingering to the north and northwest as we have a little reinforcing cold front to come our way. This one will have a little more meat and potatoes with it from a temperature standpoint. But again, another classic example that any cold in winter is short-lived, even in this late stretch of wintertime across our part of the Midwest. And readings are down into the teens and lower 20s north of that front. We'll be looking at some of that colder air in here for the later tomorrow night and maybe for a time on Sunday. After that, and after a chilly start to the weekend, off we go into a spring-like feel. And if you missed out on 70-degree weather, it's back into play Tuesday. A little more dynamics involved in the next cold front and weather system, so we'll keep a more heightened eye on some stronger storm activity come Tuesday. But yeah, the rains of yesterday, quarter-inch of the gauge, had a little hail in some of that, some small pea-sized hail reported, and some of that stuff yesterday mid to late morning. 34 now, Willard and Savoy, 35 Danville, as well as the Kankakee, 31 Bloomington normal, up to 51 today. That's still a bunch of degrees above average. Skies will turn partly sunny, maybe a quick little shower or two of rain early this evening, mid to late evening, a little wet snow mixed on in, and colder on the overnight, low down to 25. Mostly sunny for the day tomorrow, but higher sun angle, lighter wind. 38 will feel not half bad, but that's more typical for the time of year as well. Near 30 and rising tomorrow night on a breezy, milder, partly cloudy Sunday afternoon. Will make at least 57, 65, maybe a little rain in spots late Monday, a couple of thunderstorm outbreaks for Tuesday, highs near 70, a couple of showers in the 50s on Wednesday and upper 40s and 50s, still mild around here. Maybe another warm-up slated as we do move into the first couple of days of the new month of March. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Former National YR Chair and GOP National Committee woman for Maryland. She's the only Republican left in that state. Nicolette Ambrose, how are you?
Stevie Jay, you know I love you dissing my super blue state.
Well, I'm the one to talk. I mean, I'm New Jersey, I'm California, I'm New York, you're Maryland. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
I know. I asked myself that question last night when I found out my state is the only actual state in the union that has a majority of Democrat voters left in it. So, yes, I asked myself that question.
Congratulations, Nicolette. Okay, so South Carolina is tomorrow. I guess Democrats can vote, right? This is kind of an open thing. Is there any tricksters things going on tomorrow in South Carolina?
It sure is. All the polls show Trump beating Haley in her home state by around 30 points. So, originally I was looking at this thinking, that would be pretty embarrassing for the former governor of that state to lose her home state that badly. But I actually think in the end it will have been more embarrassing for her to lose to, quote, unquote, none of these candidates in Nevada.
Yeah.
That was harsh.
Yeah, it was tough. Now, what if the Democrats all poured in and voted in South Carolina? Could Nikki close the gap?
I think 30 points is a little too hard of a spread to close that gap. But, interesting things could happen. The point is going to be this, though. What ultimately matters is you need delegate votes to win your party's nomination, right? And I don't see Nikki, Haley getting enough votes to qualify in her home state or really in any other state. She's not projected to win in a single state. So, therefore, it would be pretty hard to get the 1,215 delegates needed to secure the nomination. On the current path President Trump is on, he would secure that number by March 12th, and which is early. For certain, very early, given how many people were originally in this race. And our Republican National Convention is not until July of 2024 over in the Midwest, just north of you in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Okay. So why is Nikki Haley hanging on? Why won't she get out? Is it in case something happens to Donald Trump, or what's the thinking?
Number one, I absolutely agree with the point you just made. It's got to be, well, heck, all of these people left in the race running are old. I'm younger. Let's roll the dice and see if something can happen. But obviously, she's also getting a lot of money from people who just want her to stay in the race. At first you could have said it, okay, maybe it's just people who don't like Donald Trump. But it's getting to the point now where, the first presidential debate that we had, her first statement really, I was sitting there in the audience, that really made me reel back because I said, that's not an accurate statement, but I do expect to see that quote and maybe this exact footage used in the general election by Democrats against Trump if he's the nominee. And, you're hearing a lot more of that from her. So there does come a point in time where you're like, okay, I understand competition, and competition is fantastic, but if you have absolutely no chance of reaching these delegate numbers, what is the purpose of this?
I think if I'm Donald Trump, I'd probably quit talking about Nikki Haley and just focus on Joe Biden. And, she can be in as long as she wants, but the numbers are going to be the numbers. I just probably would stop talking about her because it's not a race. Nobody says it is. So maybe focus now on Joe Biden?
I think what you just said is really smart, and I think there are many days where President Trump does that. Although, I was on Brian Kilmeade's show a few weeks ago, and I said, Brian, he said one of the smartest things I've ever heard, which is Trump should want Haley to stay in the race because then it's about Trump versus Haley, and Trump keeps winning. Whereas the second Nikki Haley is out of this race, all of a sudden it's entirely about Trump's court cases, right? Yeah. So, it's good to have headlines, I win, I win, I win. Those are great headlines to have if you're in politics. You want to be portrayed as, winning every possible thing you can. But at this point, I don't think that's what Nikki Haley is doing.
Yeah. Donald Trump and the courts, the one in Manhattan where he's fined $355 million for nobody lost money. There were no defaults. There was nobody hurt. It's stunning. And then they want the money by like noon today. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But I think that does embolden more people to say this is not right. I'm voting for Trump because of that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So here's my thing. There's been a lot of talk, even amongst Democrats, of them overplaying their hand with, these court cases against Trump. But since these civil cases have gone first in New York, and since the rulings have been so outlandish, not even in the realm of anything anyone can wrap their head around as being remotely fair. And let's say you were a hardcore Democrat and you said, oh, I'm so excited that, there was no plaintiff, no one complained that Trump took any money from them. The bank who Trump did business with said they loved doing business with him, and they made a lot of money off of it, and they'd like to do more business with him. Let's just say you're a Democrat and you say, oh, I love this. This is great. My follow-up question to them would be, okay, would you like to relocate your family to New York and subject yourself to this absolutely out-of-control legal system? And I'm guessing, 95% of the time people would say, there's no way I would move there. No. It's a banana republic. And no one wants to live in a banana republic. Come on now.
Yeah, and they're not going to. They're not going to. There's just too many other good choices, so they won't. Nicolee Ambrose, how can people find you?
Stevie Jay, it's always so great to chat with you. I am on Facebook at Nicolee USA, Nicolee, NicoleeAmbrose.com, and on X at Nicolee Ambrose.
Always a pleasure, Nicolee. Thanks again.
Great chatting.
At 7:15, ESPN 93.5 on the Tapman's Joint phone line, Nicolee Ambrose. Let's check your sports headlines, Diane Ducey.
Go Illini, Illinois baseball in South Carolina. We talked to Dan Hartleb yesterday about this team. 2 o'clock, Coastal Carolina. 6 o'clock, Ball State. And Cincinnati tomorrow at 11.
Yep, and then they come home Tuesday to play Eastern at 3 p.m. on what looks like a windy, warm day. So like 60-something.
That's right.
So let's go Illinois baseball. Let's go.
And the softball team's in California, taking on number 21, sorry, and Cal Poly in Hawaii. So all our, spring sports are underway.
Yeah,
we have a little bit of an overlap.
It sounds fun, but remember Still doing school.
Exactly.
Bummer.
And it is February, so sometimes if you are playing outside against EIU, even though we were saying milder conditions, there could be a sting in that bat.
Well, yeah, sure.
All that.
Yeah,
but in any case.
Cubs off the lake in, September, it's fairly cold, too.
You're right.
Or April. April in Chicago.
Speaking of the Cubs, I think they've got the White Sox. The spring training games have begun.
Well,
so there you go.
Started going.
And, of course, you'll hear the Cubs during the regular season starting March 28th when they face Texas. US 105.9.
World Series champion Texas. That's a World Series champion.
Man, both of our teams here on ESPN 93.5. The
Shohei-
Cardinals are starting on the West Coast.
The Shohei Ohtani Dodgers is who we play. So forget LA. It's now the Shohei Ohtani Dodgers.
Okay, so Illinois and Iowa, 1:15. A lot of people are thinking, since we got punched in the mouth in Penn State, that kind of reset us.
We'll see.
And we'll be fired up.
Johnny will have something to say about that.
Okay,
Bottom
good.
of the hour, we'll talk to Brother Johnny. But I mean, I don't know where to go. You're either going to collapse or you're going to come back stronger. I say they come back stronger because this is a high-character team as far as I can tell. I mean, older guys, high character. I think what happens is you got their attention. Because if we are not doing the detail and you're 23 years old and I got this, I know what they're, blah, blah, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Maybe now you're going, crap, that was sucky. That was a sucky game.
I'm sure they said that, Stevie.
I'm sure they said that.
And speaking of that scenario, of course, we beat number 14 Indiana on women's basketball Monday by 20 points.
Yep.
Well, number 14 Indiana beat number 4 Iowa 86-69 yesterday.
Yeah, it must have been in Indiana.
Held Caitlin Clark to 24 points.
Wow.
That's her second lowest game. Her lowest was back in November, 21 points on that game. So, we're tracking all that on Caitlin Clark.
Well, that means
she was 8 of 26 in the field, 3 of 16 from the three-point. So they're coming to our house at noon.
No,
we're going to Iowa.
Oh,
darn it.
Big difference. Yeah, big difference.
Okay, that's noon on Sunday, Illinois and Iowa.
Yeah, I don't think that's good for us.
You think it's
I think
the
it's
same
bad
kind of scenario, just like Indiana was like, dang, we got it. And then they beat Iowa.
They're going to be sharp against us.
Okay, shoot.
Weather brought to you by Busey for over 150 years. Busey, member FDIC. Your Fox Business Minute coming up. We do have a Stever to tell you about. That also coming up next.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign event this Saturday and another cold front down the move. And this one brings about a little dose of reality for the season around here later on this evening and again into the front part of the weekend. But typical trademark of El Nino, quick and fast moving, any winter and cold. We'll move right back in the other direction around here for the day on Sunday. More spring-like weather much of next week, and particularly the first half of the week. And there may be some additional rounds of thunderstorm activity that on this go-around turn heavy and severe. In the meantime, quiet days worth of daytime weather, turning partly sunny, mild this afternoon, 51 northwest wind. Cold front hits early on tonight. Maybe a quick shower of rain, then snow, all before midnight, and down to 25. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, colder, and about 38. Breezy milder, though, Sunday afternoon at 57, 65, little rain in spots late Monday, showers and thunderstorms in between, highs up near 70 on Tuesday. Wednesday, a couple of showers, 54, highs upper 40s and 50s for late next week. For Stevie Jay, broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Bloomin' Brands' holiday quarter was better than expected. Its parent company of Outback Steakhouse, Carrabba's, Bonefish Grill, and Fleming's, the stock is higher. The company says it closed 36 predominantly older, underperforming restaurants in the fourth quarter. Carvana shares are rallying. The online used car seller is upbeat about this year. It reported a smaller loss for the recent quarter. NVIDIA shares are higher again today after its upbeat earnings and forecast about artificial intelligence push pushed the stock up 16%, a $277 billion rise in market value. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that Vice Media will stop publishing content on its website and will cut hundreds of jobs. Instead, it will partner with established media companies to distribute its content. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
I'm Dana Perino, co-host of The Five and co-anchor of America's Newsroom. Join me for my brand new podcast, Perino on Politics. Every Monday, I'm going to talk to people I trust in politics as they tell me what they're seeing and thinking in the 2024 election cycle. The Republican presidential primary is heating up, and candidates are zeroing in on the Palmetto State. National Review senior writer Noah Rothman joins me to examine campaign strategies ahead of the South Carolina primary. Available now on FoxNewsPodcast.com.
Your Stever is coming up next.
Does your bank keep rewards programs out of reach? While some banks save rewards for a select few, Fisher National Bank offers free rewards checking to everyone for doing what they likely do already. You can do 12 debit card purchases, receive statements electronically, have one direct deposit a month. It's that easy. Rewards checking requires no minimum balance, offers ATM fee refunds, and delivers an excellent annual percentage yield. Learn more at FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Okay, so we've got a Stever. It is from PDR Automotive. So if you need vehicle repair, they've been at it for a long time, since the 1960s. Very near when this song came out.
That's true.
Okay, so what we have is the complete vehicle inspection. And then if there's something they say you ought to do this, I'll throw another 100 at it. So it's 100 for the inspection and then 100 toward something you might have done. If you don't have anything done, that's fine. All good. You get your free inspection, get your 4 color sheets or 5 or whatever it is. And you look through it. And I think it's unbelievably perfect if you're trading in your car or you are selling it by yourself or doing something like that. It's like getting a home inspection before you sell it.
Right.
Everybody knows everything. You can get a color thing, and the ones where it says red means you probably got to do something.
Yeah, that needs attention.
Yeah, green is your color when it comes to those vehicle inspections. So if you want PDR Automotive, just a vehicle inspection, where are we on it? Where are the tires? Where's all the stuff, the fluids? What do we need? What's going on with the parts?
That's right. 1008 North Cunningham in Urbana.
So if you go to GoStever.com, GoStever.com right now, then you can get hold of that. And enjoy. So
get that analysis done and know where you're at. Maybe you've got a spring break trip coming up or a road trip or something.
And you don't have to do anything as far as suggested stuff. But you get 100 toward that if you do.
That's right.
And you'll say, hey, let me know if you think I need something. Let me know what that cost is. I'll decide if I want to do it, kind of thing, and just talk to them. PDR Automotive on Cunningham in Urbana. All right, this is the 23rd. Next Friday is March. Just for those keeping score, 2 a.m. 10th, that's 2 weeks from tomorrow, we're springing ahead on the clock.
Okay.
Just an advanced heads up. Cardinal baseball, Cub baseball, they're going to live right here. We got those games coming up. US 105.9 will carry the Chicago Cubs and apparently the Cody Bellinger-less Cubs. I don't think he's going to the Cubs. I thought he was.
Out.
The Royals, Cincinnati, and one other team was mentioned as interested. I didn't see the Cubs on the list in a way that Dansby Swanson, the shortstop, was talking that, hey, we've been in contact. We'll see what happens. Very vague. It does not sound like Scott Boras is going to get the money he wants from the Rickett family.
Okay.
So I don't think I always thought Cody's going to re-sign with the Cubs. So Cubs got some young talent. So maybe they're planting that seed to say, you guys, we're going to go young.
Okay.
We'll see. And then the Cardinals will live right here. It's going to be a real battle, I think, in the Central. And the Cardinals got off to such a bad start last year. They were really rough and tumble when they opened with, Toronto, and it wasn't good. So they're trying to avoid that, even though they started in L.A. and San Diego 7 games. I think 3-4 would be a bargain at this minute. Just don't go 0-7 or 1-6 or something to get off to a really bad start. But the Cardinals will live right here on ESPN 93.5. And we are still working on the bus trip. My apologies for all the stuff. Couldn't get a bus for this one. Trying another date. And we will let those interested know when we lock it in.
It's wild when you look at our formula, which is a game between, so essentially noon and 2,
Yeah.
so we can leave at 8 and be home by 7.
We like that. It's just it's the way you do it because zero people want to come home at 1 in the
But that
morning.
filters it down to only a select few games,
used to
and
be more
especially
matinees,
during the
yeah.
week.
Well, the week games are cheaper.
That's
So
right.
if I'm going to charge $245 for all the suite experience,
Mhm.
it's going to be like $300 on the weekend. So it just jumps so I try and go on like a Tuesday,
Yeah.
and there's like 6 choices all year.
That's right.
It's just the matinee thing, the businessman special,
Mm-hmm.
as they used to call it, is just non-existent. One more note here before we get to Brother Johnny. Game Day Spirit, official store of the Fighting Illini. It's an orange out. If you don't have your orange pants, you can get orange pants.
Yes, you can.
I think you can get orange socks.
The special T-shirt is a giant orange out with bold letters and stuff like that. So
how
cool.
many people will wear blue tomorrow? We've been talking about this a lot.
You're right.
How many? There'll be 15,554. What's the over-under on how many?
Probably 2,000 that didn't get the memo.
I think we should just number them out. Hey! Maybe
go out there in the lobby and get a T-shirt from Game Day Spirit.
Call McLean's stall and see if we can get a bunch of box of orange shirts to help those folks that forgot.
Cover them up for 10 minutes while we take the picture.
Bring your orange. It's gonna be a loud crowd. I think the fans, as devastated as everybody was, as devastated as you should get for a game. We were devastated, not devastated, life devastated, but devastated sports dedicated.
Yeah, after the Nittany Lions had our number.
It was just brutal.
Mm-hmm.
That loss was brutal. And so the answer in life, we all get knocked to the ground, sometimes really hard. And there are much more serious things than a basketball game. But the issue isn't what happens to you in your life. The issue is how you react to it.
Yes.
Because
got to get up again.
Everybody has struggles. Everybody has ups and downs. Everybody goes through it. You think you're the only one with problems. Somebody that next door has a far worse situation.
Maybe.
I think God puts those in our life. We see them and go, man, I have no problems.
Yep.
I got nothing. So anyway, in a sports sense, we were really bummed losing that game because you're up 7 and you're the 12th best team, and we have the ball. I mean, it was so unlikely.
How will we do at 1:15 tomorrow against Iowa?
We're fine.
Okay.
You got your 4 games, 4 hours before that is 12:15, 11:15, 10, 9:15 is your big
For
dinner.
their big meal.
Big
so
brunch, whatever they do.
They're firing on all cylinders during the game because of the food fuel.
Yeah, they do a 4-hour before.
Mhm.
So it's not super early to get up. So, yeah, I think it's fine. So we'll see, and I think it'll be a really electric crowd. Iowa's always fun. They're playing their best basketball, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to play well. I predict that we will be extraordinarily good on defense tomorrow because we've been extraordinarily bad, and the issue seems to be attention to detail. And following the stunning loss, I think we'll have attention to detail.
Well, and there's some folks chiming in at 359-2255 saying, have we hit our peak and all this other stuff, and people losing their faith for sure.
I don't think so, but I guess we'll see. I think this is a refocus. We'll see. Johnny has something to say on this.
Okay.
We'll be right back, Brother Johnny, on Fridays. That'll be next. It is Friday morning. This is February 23. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I am Stevie J. It's 7:29, the news, weather, sports, and Johnny. Coming up, basketball star Coleman Hawkins about Pacifica on Green.
I'm Coleman Hawkins. I like living at Pacifica on Green because it's really a home environment. Everyone's very welcoming. There's great space for whenever family wants to visit, great room size. It just came with everything I needed in order to feel like I was at home and feel like I can live here and have a good time.
The ultimate in student housing, Pacifica on Green. Visit them at pacificaongreen.com.
Did you know the Anita Purvis Nature Center is a home for live animals? Stop by the Nature Center. View the turtles, owls, snakes, and salamanders. These were orphaned or injured animals who wouldn't be able to survive in the wild, but they help educate the public at the Nature Center. Sponsor an educational animal for as little as $15 a month. And make sure that animal has good food, housing, and medical care. For details, visit urbanaparks.org.
Jets is hiring. Call 217-352-9992 or stop into 1907 West Springfield Avenue near Round Barn in Champaign. Jets is open till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till midnight. Are you looking for a side hustle? Here's Josh from Jets talking about the benefits of doing deliveries.
When I was a delivery driver, it was amazing how much the actual amount of money I had just shot right up. You have money in your pocket every single day.
For details on joining the team, visit jetspizza.com.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Biden announces there will be more than 500 new sanctions against Russia over the Ukraine invasion that started 2 years ago tomorrow, and opposition leader Alexei Navalny's death in prison last Friday.
To state the obvious, he was a man of incredible courage, and it's amazing how his wife and daughter are emulating that.
The president's met with Navalny's widow and daughter. His mother says Russian authorities are demanding a secret funeral, that she's seen her son's body but is not allowed to claim it. An Augusta University nursing student in Georgia is found dead. The University of Georgia campus in Athens.
Police say the body was found with visible injuries in a forested area behind the lake at the campus when a friend called them concerned that she had not returned from Iran. University says foul play is suspected.
Fox's Sue Guzman classes at both schools are canceled today. Stocks are basically flat ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Governor's calling for the elimination of the state's 1% grocery tax, calling it a regressive tax that Illinois families don't need. He outlined his proposal for the state's budget in his annual State of the State address. Governor also called for an expanded child tax credit, as well as the purchase of medical debt and forgiving it for hundreds of thousands of Illinois residents. Reviews of Governor Pritzker's budget plan for Illinois split along party lines. Democratic State Senator Dave Kohler supports the governor's idea of increasing consumer protection and expanding access to health care. Republicans criticize his plan to spend more state tax dollars on migrants. Officials with the electric vehicle manufacturer Rivian have announced plans to cut about 10% of their salaried workforce. A limited number of non-manufacturing hourly employees will also be cut. About 8,000 employees currently work at the Rivian's plant in Normal. That's what's happening. You're up to date. From the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom, I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. Let's check weather, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
Their Best in Show photographic print competition has great displays that you can check out this weekend through the 25th at Lincoln Square Mall. There's also a lot of youth camps, and they need counselors and lifeguards, things like that, job opportunities. Head to urbanaparks.org.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign, Urbana vicinity. Off yesterday, showers, a couple of thunderstorms, a little small hail, the cool down to a little more typical midwinter feel expected for the next couple of days. Even the look of the same, with a touch of snow in the air in some spots later on this evening. Apart from that, temperatures just as quickly moderate over the back end of the weekend. Big warm up into the first part of next week. Maybe some big storms too to contend with, especially for the day on Tuesday. We'll move into a cooler weather pattern later next week. Turning partly sunny, still mild for the day today, up to 51 with a northwesterly breeze, 10 to 18 tonight. Turning breezy, colder. A shower of rain, then snow all before midnight, down to 25. Mostly sunny, colder for the day tomorrow. More seasonal highs at 38 degrees. Into the upper 20s and rising tomorrow night. Breezy milder and 57 on Sunday. Maybe it'll rain late Monday. Highs up to about 65. Showers and thunderstorms could be strong in spots Tuesday at 70. A few more showers and in the 50s next Wednesday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting Meteorologist Greg Soldier.
This is a familiar sound in Illinois.
Cold snap grappling with heavy snowfall while bracing themselves for a significant winter storm.
The snow will come, but you need to go to work, to school, to the store, to care for family. When the weather's rough, you need a vehicle that's tough. Sarah of Champaign wants to put you in an Outback, Forester, Crosstrek, or Ascent. There are so many reasons why a Subaru SUV is the best vehicle to drive during winter months. Standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, vehicle dynamics control, 8.7 inches of ground clearance, and available X mode for when the snow is extra deep. That adds up to performance and safety. Don't wait for the next storm warning. If you have to get where you're going, no matter the weather, see the huge selection and great deals at Sarah Subaru today. Route 45 in Savoy, or online at sarahsubaruchampaign.com. Well, Johnny has a Subaru. How's that running? You like it?
I sure do. Yes, I do. Now I have the Subaru Ascent,
but which is a big one, the biggest one.
Yeah.
And it was cold 7s, and real good performance. So yeah, I'm happy with it. All-wheel drive is the best thing, and they've got a well-developed all-wheel drive system that I'm pretty impressed with.
How'd Ben Quattrone treat you? Pretty good?
I'm sorry?
How'd Ben Quattrone treat you? Our buddy, Ben over there. He treated you great.
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, right. You got to recommend Sarah. It's a great place. Yep.
7:36,
brother. Back up there.
Yep. Brother Johnny's in New Orleans this morning. All right, so a texter has texted in. Ask Johnny what, Diane?
Where America will be in 2 years if the Democrats steal the election in November. Can America survive an open border situation and these liberal Marxist policies? And what does the fall of the nation look like?
Hello?
Can you hear us?
There's some breakup. No, I did not understand.
Let me call you back on your cell. Can we?
Yeah, I don't think that's it, but give it a shot.
You know what, Johnny? AT&T. Are you still there? AT&T. He's AT&T. So I bet you that's part of our deal.
A lot of people facing that situation yesterday, man. And they're saying they don't suspect it to be anybody hacking.
No, they said it was a technical issue. I don't know. I have no idea.
So, and I think everybody was up and running by last night, but
I think mostly. But again, Johnny's had problems with AT&T. I've been a Verizon guy on that, so I don't know. Well, we'll see. But I'm gonna blame.
Hello.
All right, now can you hear me?
Yeah, this has happened one other time.
Well, do you know that AT&T had a major outage? I don't know if you had any problems yesterday on this, Johnny, but AT&T is struggling. I think you're still AT&T on the phone, aren't you?
Verizon is fine. Verizon.
Right, but I thought
I'm hearing the same kind of breaking up.
All right. Well, darn. Can we do this? Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you right now. Keep it going.
Right,
Keep it going. All right.
I'm going to ask the question that was texted in.
Yeah.
America, where will America be in 2 years if the Democrats steal the election in November? Can America survive an open border situation and these liberal Marxist policies? And what does the fall of our nation look like?
Yikes.
Yikes. Well, no, that's quite involved. Will America... I think we'll have a hard time communicating like we are now, Steve. In fact, I don't know if anybody will be able to listen to anything but the new NPR or something. And you remember TASS news agency out of Russia?
Yep.
I mean, they would just tell people what they wanted them to hear. And some of it might have actually been true. But I think we'll just cripple along. I don't know the answer to that. I don't want to find out. So I'm hoping we can make a change in direction.
Even though this was the safest and most secure election in U.S. history in 2020?
We just have to say that every time before we start something that we want to say.
I'm so happy Joe Biden is my president and Kamala is my vice president. Listen, if
bots don't hear the intonation.
Listen, if you're starting to, and we are, there is no question of censorship. There's certain things you can't say on the social medias, and you get kind of pulled off and disappear, or get completely non-notification-ish. I mean, it's a scary thing, Johnny. I have the right, if I don't hurt anybody, to be stupid, right?
Well, and it's amazing that the people who want to censor us should probably be censored, but we don't do that, and because we want to hear all parties and let people decide who's making sense, and that's what the danger is. And people who aren't making sense can take over. I wonder if that sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's and isn't it under the auspices of you're a hater? You are a hater, so you must be stopped spreading this hate. I think that's one of the keystones of it, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you have your Bureau of Truth. Well, that comes straight out of Mao Zedong and Moscow, for crying out loud. So it's it's one of the things we've got to push back on, and we have been. Listen, there's the majority of people are pushing back on this, and so that's where I focused on how we execute our electoral process, because I think there's some openings there, and if we don't get the true vote, we don't get to hear what everybody really wants. So,
well, I mean, it's one thing to get a true vote. The other is to believe it was a true vote. I mean, we're a long way from believing it's going to be a true vote, both sides, I think.
Well, and I think no matter who wins, the other side's going to think there was some shenanigans, and that's too bad. I think the evidence points towards the Democrats having a much bigger edge in delivering votes that could be questioned, like by about 20-1. I mean, this has been an institution, Steve, and we still talk about the 1960 election with Kennedy, and somebody went to the trouble of finding 8,200 people who simply had passed away before the election that voted for Kennedy, and they found their names on the rolls at the precincts, and he won by 8,200. So that kind of thing's been going on. But with the social media, and then you have the electronic machines, and then you have things like Dropboxes, the opposite is there. Well, you can't deny it. And then all you can say is it didn't happen. And we have video of it, and now we do have court evidence, and there are significant questions across the board. So we just got to tighten up.
Why are the Republicans reluctant to really grab hold of it and get behind, like, there's no will, for sure on the Democratic side, but probably on the Republican side, apparently, to really lock this in and say, this is how we're going to vote. It's going to be foolproof. We can do this for sure, but we just don't.
Well, that's a good question. Just Republicans have been so anemic about it, makes you want to think, well, sure they. And I'm talking about the elite power brokers in both parties. We don't have term limits. Big problem. And the other problem is going to get basically shut down or yelled at or called the racist, and the whole laundry list of things you call them. So they're going to just fall in. The Republicans don't do as well as the Democrats at falling in line. But yeah, I agree that's a big question mark. And many people I talk to at fairly high levels are like, well, it's just not that bad. And they don't investigate it, and they don't talk about it. So it's, I think, intimidation, and I think a little bit of, both sides are kind of in on it.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I'm thinking. I've been thinking that for about 9 years, Johnny. I think they're all kind of winking at each other. I got you.
No, obviously there's some truth. They're working together every day. And so, you got to create a relationship with someone who you don't agree much with. And then, you just kind of form a bond of they're in this kind of ruling elite. That's totally normal. I always tell people, I don't know, if I was 30, 40 years, I don't know how much different I would be.
Yeah, right. If you're there 30, 40, because you don't get anything significant, no committees, no assignments, no biggie, anything unless you follow along.
Not just that. When people basically worship you every day, you got staff that you're the king.
Yeah.
You're going to change. You're going to be corrupted. That's all there is to it.
So
some people can withstand it, but it's very difficult.
It's Brother Johnny on the Tapman's Towing phone line from New Orleans. Just a few more minutes. So what happened in New Orleans and Louisiana when term limits were kind of installed in the 1990s? What happened to your state?
So we worked on the term limits. We talked about it to get a bill through that passed. And when we voted on it in 1996, 76% voted for term limits once it got on the ballot. And the only way to get the legislators to pass it was to grandfather them in from 1996. So they had 12 more years, 4-year terms, 3 terms. So if you'd been there 26 years, you still had another 12. So a lot of the older guys are like, well, I'd probably be dead. I'll vote for it.
That's right. So out of 50, and 76% overwhelmingly picked it if they had a chance to vote on it. Out of 50 states in our union, how many states would vote for term limits?
Everyone. Every one of them. If it was a free vote. In California, no, you wouldn't get it through, I don't think. Chicago and L.A. and San Fran to take care of it. But I think if you had a same-day vote where you had to show up to vote, every single state would vote for term limits. Every single one of them. That's my
So in other words, the people really aren't in charge. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I think generally they are. But I think if you had term limits, you would see the Republicans and the Democrats talk about how we vote. So in Louisiana, after 12 years in 2008, the Republican Party was difficult here. It's just party politics. So a group got together and started to recruit good candidates and this was more on the Republican side now, and got ready for 2008 when everybody was out and everybody is a brand new legislature and got people. Just regular old folks, and it was a little messy because they didn't know how it worked.
Yeah, I bet.
But now it's 2024, and actually, we have no drop boxes, and we're not connected to the internet, and you do have early voting, but we don't have post-election voting. And we have mail-ins, but you have to have a witness sign it, and it's an absentee ballot. It's not a mail-in. And the result here has been a two-thirds majority Republicans in the House and the Senate, and a Republican governor, a Republican lieutenant governor, secretary of state, treasurer, attorney general. And because the Democrats carried the line of the Washington Democrats here, and they just got completely slaughtered. They weren't making sense. And so, now, and I've said before, Steve, my number one political issue is stop the Democrats before they kill us all, which might go to the texter's question earlier. But it has crossed my mind now in Louisiana. We better stop the Republicans before they kill us all. You might have too much of a good thing.
Yeah. Well,
we'll see how it goes because it's unprecedented.
Yeah.
When I moved down here, it was like 600,000 registered Republicans, 2.7 million registered Democrats.
Wow, that's unreal. Wow.
And now it's a completely red state. So,
well,
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
but I think that evolved from term limits, straight from term limits.
Well, we need to take notes in Illinois. Why don't you come up here and establish your residency
Well,
again?
to do that, we are still, I think, the first non-petition state to do it. And a petition state can go around gathering signatures and say, we want to vote on this. California's got it, overdoes it, and they vote on crazy things all the time.
Yeah.
But Louisiana, Illinois, it has to be passed by the legislature. So you can start polling your legislators and see if they want to allow the Illinois voters to vote on term limits. I don't think you're going to get her through down there in Springfield.
Well, but if you say you're not involved, you're grandfathered in, and they all say, "Well, I'll be dead anyway, so why not?"
No, you might get that, and I'll tell you what, I'll back off of that Illinois wouldn't vote for. I think people in Chicago would vote for that. I think it would pass in Illinois. I think the people who are involved in delivering votes would say, "I'm not delivering that. We're voting for term limits." You whatever, so because they're sick of it too.
Yeah.
These people can be bad when they have powers for too long.
Last thing, Illinois basketball. I think you talked me out coming down from the tree. I was climbing.
Talked you out off the ledge.
Off the ledge, so to speak. I was obviously disappointed. It was a brutal loss, and then you said, "Hey, this might be great for March." Explain that.
Well, no. What I think is. Those first two games in the tournament, we're actually consensus a Sweet 16 team by the nature. What are we now, 14th or something?
Yeah,
12th or
12th,
14th.
yeah.
And so should be able to do it. It's very difficult to do it. In the top 16 teams this year, 8 might not get to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, right, right.
It's just, but we're playing very well, and we're throwing the ball around. I would have to constructively say that to go through what was really just a complete blown game, you have to think, what did we do? How could we have lost that game? And one thing is, I think they're getting a little tired, so maybe a couple more minutes on the bench for some of the guys. But also, in that second half, we're having turnovers that are beyond the pale. I mean, when you just kind of casually flip the ball at the top of the circle and the other guy's there, he's laying it up, Steve.
Yep.
You're up 9 points. That's an easy. That takes 3 seconds. Now it's 7 points.
Yep.
We should have been up 15. We were up 4. When you get yourself in that position, anything goes.
Yep.
You don't get a call. You get a bad call. You miss 2 free throws.
Yeah.
And you have to stay intense, and you have to keep the pedal to the metal. It's easy to say, but they're not doing it. I like the new assist that Coleman was working on, the ricochet assist, where he just slaps the ball and gives the shooter about a half a second longer to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is it's plus or minus 20 feet, Steve. And that went into the third row. And you cannot do that once in the tournament, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot do that once. And I think they're in control of that now. And I think when you lose a game, if you win those games, it's like, yeah, that was fun. Now when you lose a game, if you don't do that, you probably would have won that game because it came down to one of those turnovers.
Yeah.
What do we have, 18?
Yep.
You're going to have 10, okay?
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but you're going to have 10.
Yep.
You got it. They're good, these defenders, but when you have 18 and you have the kind of turnovers that looks like they think they got it in the bag, which they really did, I think that's where you got to work on. Don't start losing that intensity. I don't know if Brad thinks they're maybe need another minute rest, a half. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I don't know. Yeah.
You got to have that. We don't seem to do that as much in the first half. And they're moving the ball. They're making their shots.
You think
getting in.
Think we'll bounce back against Iowa? It'll be a sellout, all orange out tomorrow after 1 o'clock, 1:15 tomorrow. Think we'll bounce back, have a good one?
Yes, I think we'll do very well. And I think, like I said, I think it was kind of a tweak. And I would be more worried about running the table and then getting into that stinking tournament because of the pressure. And we weren't ready, obviously, to really close out a game. It doesn't start in the last 3 minutes. It starts with about 8 or 9 minutes.
No, you're right. You're right. So Illinois, maybe a refocus moment in their life right now with February 23rd. Yeah. Refocus.
Well, and I think, too, you have to understand we don't really have a true point guard. So you got to help the guy with the ball. If two guys get on, you got to move. Get to where he can get you the ball, that kind of thing. They're doing it. But they have to understand where they're weak. And of course, getting the ball in bounds is also a problem that is related to I'm talking about a Tony Parker point guard or somebody.
Trent Frazier, Ayo Dosunmu kind of guy.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And but Marcus is doing a great job filling in, but the other guys have to understand, hey, we gotta understand that's a weakness and overly worry about getting open when two guys are on it.
Yeah.
There's only 3 other guys left. So, yeah, coach is working on all that, Steve. And what it does in a game like this is exposes where we're weak, which means we can work on it. And the guys are convinced, yeah, Coach, you're right. We got to do something.
Now you got their attention for sure.
Yeah.
Johnny, appreciate everything. Thank you for being on always on Fridays. We appreciate your time. Thank you. Go Illini tomorrow for sure.
All right, man. I'll be watching. Thanks, Steve Jay.
Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate it. That's Brother Johnny down in New Orleans, ESPN 93.5. Check your weather forecast brought to you by Kurt Lenschow. He's at State Farm Insurance, and like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. ESPN 93.5. Beautiful weather.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana this Saturday, and another cold front on the move. And this one brings about a little dose of reality for the season around here later on this evening and again into the front part of the weekend. But typical trademark of El Nino, quick and fast moving, any winter and cold. We'll move right back in the other direction around here for the day on Sunday. More spring-like weather much of next week, and particularly the first half of the week. And there may be some additional rounds of thunderstorm activity that on this go-around turn heavy and severe. In the meantime, quiet days worth of daytime weather, turning partly sunny, mild this afternoon, 51 northwest wind. Cold front hits early on tonight. Maybe a quick shower of rain, then snow all before midnight, and down to 25 tomorrow. Mostly sunny, colder, and about about 38. Breezy milder, though. Sunday afternoon at 57, 65. Little rain in spots late Monday. Showers and thunderstorms in between, highs up near 70 on Tuesday. Wednesday, a couple of showers, 54. Highs upper 40s and 50s for late next week. For Stevie Jay, broadcasting meteorologist Greg Solier.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Tapman's Towing team of experienced tow professionals is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club?
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
All right, so you're not busy tomorrow. You can go to the Beekeepers thing. They're doing that at Urbana Library tomorrow morning at
9:30.
9:30.
Uh-huh.
That's where beekeepers get together. You can join. It's $10 a year, and then you get all the information on bees.
That's right. There's a focused apiary speaker, so good
knows
stuff.
everything about bees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's that. I've got the PDR Automotive. It's a complete vehicle inspection for $100 that I'm paying for, and I'll give you another $100 if you want to do something with it. If you need anything done, I'll kick in $100 toward that.
Yeah.
So it's a $200 value for free if you'd like. At PDR Automotive, I give you the money, you use it, you spend it, obviously you benefit from it, and then you fill out your survey and you get in there as quickly as you can to PDR. Just go to GoStever.com. GoStever.com if you're interested in today's Stever offer.
PDR at 1008 North Cunningham in Urbana.
Okay, can you sue TikTok because they're messing up everything in your house.
Right.
We'll talk about a guy who's actually doing that next. ESPN 93.5. You're listening to WSJK, ESPN 93.5, Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
They'll campaign one last day in South Carolina. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, ahead of tomorrow's Republican primary.
Nikki Haley is losing to me. It looks like she's going to lose by 25 or 30 points. That's a lot.
She and former President Trump will campaign there today, and even if Haley loses, she vows to keep running.
South Carolinians deserve the right to vote, as do every other state after that. Let's let them vote.
The former president's comment about the polls was at a religious broadcasters forum in Nashville late last night.
With me, I get indicted and my numbers go up. What the hell is going on? Because the people know it's a scam.
Now, Trump lawyers were busy last night also, filing an attempt to dismiss another case.
Claiming that presidential immunity should have allowed him to hold on to those hundreds of classified materials long after leaving office. In D.C., Trump lawyers are still waiting to see whether or not the Supreme Court's going to rule on whether or not Trump can be prosecuted over efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
Fox's Mark Meredith. In New York, the judge who ruled the Trump organization committed fraud rejected the former president's attempt to delay enforcement of a $355 million fine. The U.S. is hitting Russia with more than 500 new sanctions, with President Biden saying that leader Vladimir Putin will pay an even steeper price for invading Ukraine.
Some of these sanctions will be targeted at folks directly involved in the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. The vast majority, though, will be aimed at what the U.S. has called Vladimir Putin's war machine, closing the gaps in the sanctions that he's been able to evade. The U.S. has promised to hold Russia accountable after the death of Navalny. President Biden has placed the blame squarely on Putin.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. The day before the 2-year anniversary of Russia's invasion, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is in Ukraine to show U.S. support. A Senate-approved bill provides new military aid, but that's stalled in the Republican-led House. For the first time in more than 50 years, there's an American spacecraft on the moon. It landed last night. It's transmitting data. It's an unmanned mission, the first by a private company. America's listening to Fox News.
Hello, America. It's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you don't have Consumer Cellular yet, now is the perfect time to switch and save. For a limited time, new customers can get wireless service for as low as $15 a month for your first year. Yep, the same exact nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for $15 a month for an entire year. What are you waiting for? Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and use code RADIO15.
See consumercellular.com/firstyear15 for promotional details.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
There is yet another push to target social media. Some states have implemented restrictions, even tried to ban TikTok over fears of its Chinese influence. In Florida, they want to ban kids from using social media.
Florida state legislature passes a bill making it unlawful for people under 16 to have social media accounts, and could even levy fines on parents who don't prevent their kids from joining or who help them skirt age verification requirements. The bill is controversial because while many agree social media negatively affects children's mental health, there are concerns such a prohibition would be unconstitutional. Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis openly criticized the bill for not allowing parents to choose whether their kids can use social media. It is unknown if he'll sign it into law. In Broward County, Florida, Eben Brown, Fox News.
The trial will resume in New Mexico, the first of two related to the deadly shooting on the set of the movie Rust.
Prosecutor Jason Lewis alleging Rust armorer Hannah Gutierrez-Reed was responsible for the presence of live ammunition on the set, accusing her and the first assistant director of failing to properly check the gun.
Ms. Gutierrez and Mr. Halls then did a sloppy and incomplete safety check of the gun.
Defense attorney Jason Bowles alleging production shouldn't have had Gutierrez-Reed doing two jobs and alleging she's a scapegoat.
What really happened is production was negligent. Production put her in that position.
Gutierrez-Reed charged with involuntary manslaughter in the fatal 2021 shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins and tampering with evidence. She's pleaded not guilty. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Of course, the gun famously went off in actor Alec Baldwin's hands. He claims he did not pull the trigger. It just went off, and now he's facing his own involuntary manslaughter trial later. AT&T is apologizing to customers for all of yesterday's cell service outages, blaming a technical error, and on Wall Street, stock futures are rising. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois lawmakers considering the legalization of mushrooms for medicinal use in the state. State Senator Rachel Ventura introduced a bill pointing to research showing the effects of the mushrooms in treating patients suffering from PTSD, anxiety, and depression. It would also help generate money for the state through a 15% tax. Illinois roads were deadlier last year than the previous year. Illinois transportation officials say fatalities on state roadways increased by 29 incidents to 1,275 in 2022. Road fatalities had fallen by more than 100 people. Officials blame distracted driving and mistakes behind the wheel. Unranked Penn State upset number 12 Illinois 90-89 at a victory at Rec Hall. Illini led by 7 with under a minute to go before the Nittany Lions went on an 8-0 run to end the game. Next up for the Illini, they host Iowa Saturday. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Problems with your current copier vendor regarding service? You ought to get great service. There's no excuse not to get great service. You can call Greg Wolf at Watts Copy Systems, where service is more than a promise. Locally owned, family-owned, employee-owned, Illinois business. Watts Copy Systems, Greg Wolf, 217-352-0428. To call Greg Wolf at Watts Copy Systems. All right, weekend weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier has this right now, my friend.
Yeah, the sun seems to be prevailing, Greg.
Yes, it certainly does there, folks, and we'll continue to do so here for the next few hours. The old visible satellite picture, nice to have the earlier sun-up times here. We can see a nice, clearly defined frontal boundary up into southern Wisconsin around the Dells. It's quickly heading southward, a little disturbance on it, and that will generate a little more steadfast cooling, but steadfast by El Nino terms. It's about a day and a half worth that is expected for tomorrow and tomorrow evening. After that, back into an increasing south wind and a pretty dynamic looking feature coming out of the plains and into the Midwest here. Yeah, we're going to roll and wind the remaining days of February into early March, probably like a lion around here with a strong south wind, big warm up slated, more severe weather potential, more heightened than we had here on the previous go around. That wasn't much to speak of, but more broad based at some point early to mid next week. Modest cool off and we'll do it all over again, but still some colder days are ahead just beyond the first week or so of the month of March. So lots of ups and downs, no shortage of moisture around. 36 now, Willard and Savoy, 34 Rantoul later on today. Forecast time, still not bad for the time of year, still running about 14, 15 above average. And about 51, skies turn partly sunny, maybe a shower of rain in spots this evening, mid to late evening, a little snow mixed in. Colder on the overnight, 25, mostly sunny, colder, lighter wind for the day tomorrow, but more seasonal at 38. We'll be looking at a 20-degree temperature climb to 57 on Sunday, increasing southerly winds and a partly cloudy sky. 65 on Monday, a little rain later in the afternoon, then a couple of thunderstorm outbreaks. We'll keep an eye on them for Tuesday in between, highs near 70. Showers in the 50s on Wednesday, still mild despite the cool off next week, Thursday and Friday, highs upper 40s and lower 50s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting Meteorologist Greg Solier.
Well, when Brittany Edwards discovered a distressing post on her 12-year-old daughter TikTok's account indicating thoughts of self-harm, she was beside herself. The single mother of 3 was informed of her post when another mom texted to ask if everything was okay. That's when Edwards was sent a screenshot of her daughter's post that explicitly stated, low-key gonna commit suicide. Wow. TikTok ruined my kid's life. Now I'm suing with 5,000 other parents. A legal expert with extensive experience in litigating complex matters. A founding member of the Biles Wilson law firm. It's Dunham Biles. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Great. Glad to be on.
Okay, so tell me, give me your story. What's going on? What's happened? Where are you with this?
Well, this is arguably what some are calling the next tobacco litigation, and you saw it in the form of the meta lawsuits that are going on by the various attorney generals, and this is another very similar lawsuit in which they're trying to hook themselves with what got big tobacco in trouble, which was lying to the public, lying to the government, and then the allegation is making the product more addictive than it naturally would be. So big tobacco allegedly manipulated the nicotine and other chemicals to make it more addictive. The claim here is that TikTok is manipulating the AI and the algorithms to provide the children suggestions that are meant to be more addictive. So they get feeds of negative information, which apparently keeps people online longer, which then creates more ad revenue. Those are the allegations.
Okay. So, by the way, the 12-year-old daughter, there was intervention. She's okay?
Yes, that's my understanding. But there are other lawsuits, and there's a 16-year-old who apparently lost his life. So.
Okay, let me just ask you some basic stuff here, Dunham. I appreciate it. This is. But what you're saying with this is what it sounds like is you're saying that TikTok is addictive, and there is an addictive nature to because nicotine is addictive, right? I mean, we know that.
Sure.
But is you're saying though that we can't, because I'm thinking as a parent, you just take the phone away. Is that too simple?
No, that's my preferred remedy, honestly. That we've lost that because look, times have changed, things change, but not really that much, right? There's arguments that television is addictive or McDonald's hamburgers or this is just the latest form of something, and it's big business, so it's definitely a target. But at the end of the day, a lot of this is parenting, and somewhere we've lost the ability to tell our children no, it seems.
Well, if you take your 12-year-old daughter's phone away, that's going to be a mess. I mean, it's going to be bad. Yeah. I mean, really, seriously, they're going to be...
Yeah, and why do you need that kind of negativity in your life? It's easier just to conform and say, okay, another, half an hour.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happens. But parenting is... Look, I have two kids that are now 28 and 27, so they're not kids anymore. Parenting is tough. But I think sometimes we try to be our kids' friends, and that's a mistake. We have to make hard decisions sometimes for their benefit.
So, what do you think as an attorney? Do you think this is going to? If this is a precedent-setting deal, if it happens here, it could be Facebook and TikTok. What else?
Yeah.
No, that's right, and that's the thing about this, though. I think they have a very hard hill to climb. But one thing about us lawyers is we learn from each other. And lawyers pay attention to these things. You'll see in these lawsuits that they're trying out new claims. And eventually, one of them may find the way to get to the result they want, and then everybody else will follow suit.
It'll be appealed like crazy, though, won't it?
Oh, yes. These litigations would be huge, and they would be appealed, and they would go on forever. You may remember back in the 80s, I think they thought asbestos litigation was coming to an end.
No, it's going to be a long time. This stuff doesn't go quickly, so we know that. But fascinating. Dunham Biles, Dallas, Texas. How can people connect with you, Dunham?
You can look me up on our website, bileswilson.com.
Well, congratulations on starting your own law firm. That's pretty exciting stuff. Thanks for being on. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Dunham Biles, fascinating. It's hard to recognize the full impact of nearly 1.3 million American charitable nonprofits and all that they provide, from hospitals to youth clubs, parks to humane societies. Yep. Well, how do these nonprofits function? Oftentimes we see only the volunteers in the front lines like Diane, who organizes folks, say, can you help? Can you help? Well, Busey wants you to know that they're very active.
I love it.
They have a lot of full-time associates that actually receive 2 hours of paid volunteer time every month. Mm-hmm. It inspires them to get involved and shows Busey's commitment. In 2023 alone, Busey associates gave over 16,000 hours, and over 180 Busey associates commit to board service in their communities, and that's a lot of commitment there. Visit Busey.com/The Pillar to learn more about nonprofit board service, or visit Busey.com/Impact to learn more about Busey's commitment to the communities they serve. Busey, for over 150 years, member FDIC. All right, Diane Ducey with sports headlines.
Illinois baseball in action in South Carolina at 2 o'clock first pitch with Coastal Carolina. I think they're number 25. Ball State at 6, and then Cincinnati 11 a.m. tomorrow. Let's hope the weather holds out. EIU on Tuesday, and you said Greg Soya had mentioned near 70.
Yeah, 60s and windy out of the south.
Goodness.
So, go see some baseball.
We saw Well, we talked to Dan Hartleb yesterday, and he was saying, Stevie, I'm going to hold you to it. You're in charge of the weather.
That's Tuesday. I have no idea where my life will be Tuesday,
Exactly.
but I'm planning to stop by.
I am too.
Why
I think
not?
it's 3 o'clock.
Baseball, man.
We both had a little chapter of life at EIU, so I probably won't wear any Panther gear.
No,
but-
I'm there to. I like sitting behind home plate and seeing the
Can't
pitches.
fit into my Panther gear.
I like seeing the pitches sitting behind home. You can see the ball move a little bit. See what they got.
Just the sounds of summer.
Oh,
and
yeah.
by the way, we've got that here on ESPN 93.5, your home for the Cardinals. I believe they'll start their spring training games tomorrow.
Yep.
And then we've got the Cubs who are on US 105.9. They're taking on the White Sox later today. And it's always fun to take in those games at Pia's with fellow sports fans, 1609 West Springfield Avenue. And I tell you what, they've got the fan bus tomorrow, and it'll be leaving around 12:30 if you want to get there for lunch. It's a 1:15 tip-off as our number 12 Illini face Iowa tomorrow. Feeling okay about the game?
I do. I feel good. I think the guys will really rebound. I think we'll be intense, focused, and sharp and crisp.
That's
right. That's what I believe.
And then we've got Iowa for the women on Sunday at noon, but that's at Iowa. And get this, number 14 Indiana beat number 4 Iowa 86-69 yesterday, holding Caitlin Clark to 24. She was 8 of 26 from the field, and she was 3 of 16 from three-point land. And it could have been that Indiana really snapped back after we beat number 14 Indiana by 20 points on Monday.
Well, they had a sellout in Bloomington. I'm telling you, women's basketball, Caitlin Clark's driving sellouts.
That's right.
And what a job they did. It had to be super loud and super exciting to beat Iowa.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Speaking of loud and proud, Unity and Warrensburg Latham for the regional title tonight in Monticello.
Let's go Rockets.
Okay.
Yep.
Number 3 Purdue over Rutgers 96-68 yesterday. Zach Edey's 25 points helped in that game. Minnesota over Ohio State 88-79. Northwestern beat Michigan 76-62. We had the Pacers beating Detroit 129-115. Boston Celtics over the Bulls after the NBA break. 129-112 was the final.
Let's get Chapin Rose. Who doesn't want to hear Senator Chapin Rose? There's some railing coming on about the state budget. I can't wait. Stand by.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
What we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Have you ever looked at a junk truck and said, man, that truck is pretty? 2 men in a junk truck trucks are pretty. They're pretty big, so they can handle large jobs. They're pretty reliable. 2 Men in a Truck has been recognized as a trusted leader in the moving industry for over 35 years. Now we are proud to offer that same reliability to junk removal, and they're pretty fast. When you're ready to let some things go and that you don't need, you don't want to wait 3 weeks. You want it gone now. Go to 2meninAjunkTruck.com and make room for what matters most.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Did you know the Anita Purvis Nature Center is a home for live animals? Stop by the Nature Center. View the turtles, owls, snakes, and salamanders. These were orphaned or injured animals who wouldn't be able to survive in the wild, but they help educate the public at the Nature Center. Sponsor an educational animal for as little as $15 a month. And make sure that animal has good food, housing, and medical care. For details, visit urbanaparks.org.
Well, we get everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Off yesterday, showers, a couple of thunderstorms, a little small hail, the cool down to a little more typical midwinter feel expected for the next couple of days. Even the look of the same with a touch of snow in the air in some spots later on this evening. Apart from that, temperatures just as quickly moderate over the back end of the weekend. Big warm up into the first part of next week. Maybe some big storms too to contend with, especially for the day on Tuesday. We'll move into a cooler weather pattern later next week. Turning partly sunny, still mild for the day-to-day up to 51 with a northwesterly breeze, 10 to 18 tonight, turning breezy colder. A shower of rain, then snow all before midnight, down to 25. Mostly sunny, colder for the day tomorrow. More seasonal highs at 38 degrees. Into the upper 20s and rising tomorrow night. Breezy milder and 57 on Sunday. Maybe a little rain late Monday. Highs up to about 65. Showers and thunderstorms could be strong in spots Tuesday at 70. A few more showers and in the 50s next Wednesday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting Epidolcis, Greg Soldier.
From the Fox News Podcast Network.
I'm Emily Campagno, and this is the Fox True Crime Podcast.
And I had nothing to do with her disappearance.
I sit down with the people who lived the nightmares.
I was in shock. I was just devastated.
The investigators who tirelessly worked on the case.
And I really hope that they can catch this guy.
Bringing you closer to the story than you ever thought possible.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
These are the stories that keep you up at night.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
All of our guests appear on the Tammons Towing phone line. Now it's Senator Chapin Rose. I'm so excited to talk to you, Senator, because I just know in Springfield, the Democrats have turned to cost-cutting. Yes!
Cost-cutting. Okay.
That's not true then.
Right.
I thought I read that on TikTok. Oh, darn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Okay, so it's our... fiscally responsible senator. How hard is this to go through a budget that you say, what the heck are we doing again, right?
Well, look, this one's even crazier because of this migrant crisis that JV has manufactured by inviting everybody to come here as a sanctuary state is breaking the bank, literally. Or said differently, he's not going to be stealing out of your kid's piggy bank to pay for all of it. We got $1 billion plus in illegal immigrant spending. And now, when you go and actually examine this budget that he's proposed, we've learned a couple things. First of all, there's a personal income tax increase in here that nobody's even talking about, which I can't believe the media missed it, but they completely missed it. And it's hidden very well, but you really got to pay attention to the commas and the semicolons. But what he's doing is he's essentially lowering the standard deduction for all Illinoisans from whether you make $1 or $1 million, or up to $500,000, quite frankly. He's lowering the standard deduction, which means you're going to pay more. Okay, the poor is going to pay more. The working poor is going to pay more. The lower income is going to pay more. The middle class is going to pay more. The upper middle class is going to pay more. All right, because he's lowering the standard deduction. That's it.
So in other words, a deduction would keep me from paying a number. That's gone, so I pay more taxes that way.
Correct.
I can't
so now you're going to right. You're going to have you were in our current law. You're entitled to the deduction, and he is going to lower that deduction if his budget plan passes. Ergo, your taxes go up.
So can he say I didn't raise taxes? I just eliminated a deduction.
Yeah, well, no, he's saying he only raised corporate taxes. I'm only raising tax on business. Got it, right? $1 billion in tax. $1 billion. So there's $1 billion in tax increases. Okay, which oddly enough is just about the same amount as the immigrant health care.
Well, but if you're going to do that, it's going to go past $1 billion if we continue. He's already pretty much asked the governor of Texas to stop it, which. Well,
he's also one of his business taxes. He says he called it retailer discount. What the heck is that? Well, the retailer discount is the part of sales tax that is paid by everyone who purchases anything in Illinois. Again, people, not corporations, people, that is collected by the state, and the retailers get to keep a portion of that for having to have the systems and the technology and everything else to collect it at the point of sale and then remit it to the state of Illinois. So it's a reimbursement to the retailers for the cost of the software and everything else they have to remit these taxes to the state. But let's make no mistake, this isn't a tax paid by corporations. This is a tax, literally, it's sales tax paid by the people of Illinois.
Yep.
So this $1 billion tax increase is on working families, senior citizens, etc. Here's some other stuff, okay? He says, I'm giving higher ed a 2% increase. Oh, wait, when you actually run all the numbers and net out all of his cuts to higher ed, it ends up being $12 million over their whole thing for all institutions. Okay, it ends up being like 0.0048 or something. Okay, of an increase. But he's saying, U of I, you're getting 2%. You're getting 2%. He's saying to development disabled, I'm going to put $100 million into development disabled. That's a lot of money, right? I mean, you're going to have Stevie Jay and Diane, you guys are, $100 million is a lot of money, right? Except we're already $500 million behind in the current fiscal year of what we're supposed to be paying to treat the development disabled correctly in the state, to make sure they have food and medicine and therapies and health care. Again, these are the people, these aren't able-bodied people coming across the border that can get their own job. The development disabled are people who can't fend for themselves. Mm-hmm. They have no voice. Someone else has to stand up for them, and I'm going to stand up for them in this process.
Well,
in fact, these $100 million isn't even what we're required to spend under federal court order. So we're going to go from $500 million behind in the current fiscal year to being at least $630 million behind in next fiscal year for the development disabled.
I think the politicians just simply want to drag everything in the weeds, because when it gets to the weeds, and a lot of people glaze over and they don't quite get it. It's a little harder to comprehend, to kind of go through the complex nature of everything. You're doing that for me, and I need that, and it's outrageous what's happening, but I don't hear it. It's crickets out here, man.
Crickets, huh? Well, I'm sorry if it's in the weeds. But
No, I'm saying just crickets is silence. Nobody's saying anything because nobody knows about it.
Right.
It's so frustrating. Right. You're telling me what I haven't heard. Why?
Yeah. Well, he stands there and says, hey, I'm putting $100 million in development disabled. People go, well, that's a lot of money. Well, it's a lot of money, but it's not what we're supposed to be spending on development disabled under federal court order, because and we have a thing called the Guidehouse Rate Study. What's the Guidehouse Rate Study? It's the study that says if we were really doing right by those who cannot defend themselves, our friends and family in this state who, everything from being, bedridden and trach tubes, needing 24/7, 365 care just to stay alive, all the way up to, our high-functioning friends that we may see working at a Panera or a McDonald's every day, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever they're at in that range, we're going to be $630 million behind in what we should be spending to treat them right. And what are we spending on? We're spending $1 billion in illegal immigrants coming across the border.
That's very clear. Our state, very clear. I understand. What do I do? I'm going to call you, and then you're going to go bang your head and string of us. So I don't have to. Thank you.
Well, you know what? I think at some point in time, people need to start calling, Carol Ammons, right? And start saying enough's enough. We've seen through this nonsense. We're done with the Orwellian newspeak. We're done with you guys telling us everything's fine. But Stevie, on Wednesday, the Wall Street Journal had an article. I see this all the time, especially from CBS. Okay, I know you're Fox, but let me see what you're like. Why does everybody think Bidenomics isn't working? The stock market's at an all-time high. Everything's fine. You know why people don't think Bidenomics is working? Do you know why, Stevie?
Because it's not.
Because As of Wednesday of this week, grocery prices are at a 30-year high as a percentage of income in this country.
Yes.
That's why Bidenomics is
Diane, what did you spend? Diane bought granola for $2 back in the day, and 2 years now $7.
It's $7.
Okay, so when they tell me it's a 3% inflationary thing, no, it's triple.
Right.
I mean, it's crazy out there.
So I put everybody listening. I put this on Twitter, X, whatever it's now. At Sin Rose. Check it out. Sign up. I put the Wall Street Journal article up. Go look at the chart. Okay. As a percent of your income, Americans haven't spent food in 30 years. Okay, and yet everybody, Biden to JB. In fact, JB Pritzker in the speech at one point in time in the speech he said, and as much as exciting as it is, the Joe Biden or national economy, he said that.
Wow.
I mean, okay, these people are either A, outright delusional, or B, deliberately lying.
No, they say stuff that isn't right, but you don't know it isn't right until Chapin Rose tells us it's not right. You just have to know why that. But they do that all the time. It's just
you have a media that is either A, stupid, or B, outright complicit. Okay,
complicit. They're not dumb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, fair enough. I mean, honestly, around here we have a lot of reporters that come and go very quickly.
Well, I get it. I get it.
But they're just out of college.
But they'll stand up there and say the border. They'll say the border's sealed too, Chapin. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Listen, you know when I knew Joe Biden was finally going to get tough on the border? It's when 60 Minutes said there was a problem.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Okay?
That's right.
And last week, 60 Minutes is, gosh, there's a problem in the border. And then next thing you know, Joe, I'm going to fix the problem in the border.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
These guys, complicit? They're outright complicit. I mean, these people, at that level, they're just fucking points. But
okay, so where was your? I got to go, but where's your site where I can look at this inflation thing in the grocery store? Because the AT&T thing or Verizon something fading
Twitter,
out.
Yeah, my Twitter feed at that symbol SCN Chapin CHAPIN ROSE at Sin, and it's on the Twitter. But you know, I'm going to do. I'm kicking the tires on an op-ed to put some of these facts out there because I think the facts matter, and I think that even people who come from the Democratic side or the progressive left side, I think they need to at least understand that this illegal immigration crisis isn't without repercussion. Okay, it is going to gore someone's ox. You may be okay. That may be your priority to say this is a good idea, but you need to understand it's not a good idea in a vacuum. It has consequences. And those dollars that are now going to immigration are making the development disability problem worse in the state. Those dollars are going to immigration are lowering the dollars available for the University of Illinois in the state. Okay? Those dollars that are going to immigration are raising personal taxes on everybody from working families right on down the line to the poor in this state. Anybody that buys anything, okay, who pays sales tax, he's staking your money to underwrite immigration crisis. Anybody who pays income taxes in this state who makes less than $500,000 a year, $5,000 is a lot of money. That means somebody made $1. Okay, the poor. If you made $1, he's raising your taxes to pay for this. Yeah. It's not in a vacuum, Stevie.
No, I appreciate very much the update, Senator Chapin Rose. Thank you, appreciate it, and keep the fight, my friend.
Hey man, go Illini. Tough to say that after Penn State.
No, we're going to win. We're going to be sharp.
Good.
We're going to be really good. Everybody's going to be in orange. It's going to be awesome tomorrow.
It'll be great.
It'll be awesome.
I'm sure they will be. But go Illini.
You gotcha. You got Chapin Rose, ESPN 93.5. We're going to talk about that orange out next.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. President Biden marks 2 years tomorrow since the Russian invasion of Ukraine, announcing more than 500 new sanctions, some over the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny in prison.
The tranche is being billed as the most crushing single round of sanctions yet, intended to close some gaps in the sanctions that Russia has so far been able to evade, particularly with respect to Russia's defense sector.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich. Former President Trump's attorneys are asking a Florida federal court to dismiss criminal charges for keeping classified documents, arguing he designated the records as personal and is immune from prosecution.
The National Archives has said it's clear the kind of records he kept were not personal and they should have been in the custody of the archives. Trump's attorneys also say the Attorney General unlawfully appointed Jack Smith as special counsel and that the Constitution's appointment clause doesn't give him that power.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. That trial is currently scheduled to start in May. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Men charged in the shooting death of a manager of Poor Brothers Craft Taproom earlier this month pleading not guilty. Fidel Shamenga faces up to life in prison if convicted. Brandon Hardaway died after being shot in the back outside the taproom February 8th. Police say Hardaway shot after he refused a cigarette to a man. Illinois roads deadlier last year than the previous. Illinois transportation officials say fatalities on state roadways increased by 29 incidents, 1,275 in 2022. Road fatalities had fallen by more than 100. Officials blame distracted driving and mistakes made behind the wheel, such as driving intoxicated, to blame for the increase. Unranked Penn State upset number 12 Illinois in a 90-89 win at Rec Hall. Illini led by 7 with under a minute left in regulation before the Nittany Lions went on an 8-0 run to end the game. The Illini host Iowa Saturday. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and this Saturday, and another cold front down the move. And this one brings about a little dose of reality for the season around here later on this evening and again into the front part of the weekend. But typical trademark of El Nino, quick and fast moving, any winter and cold. We'll move right back in the other direction around here for the day on Sunday. More spring-like weather much of next week, and particularly the first half of the week. And there may be some additional rounds of thunderstorm activity that on this go-around turn heavy and severe. In the meantime, quiet days worth of daytime weather, turning partly sunny, mild this afternoon, 51 northwest wind. Cold front hits early on tonight, maybe a quick shower of rain, then snow, all before midnight, and down to 25. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, colder, and about 38. Breezy milder, though, Sunday afternoon at 57, 65, little rain in spots late Monday, showers and thunderstorms in between, highs up near 70 on Tuesday. Wednesday, couple of showers, 54, highs upper 40s and 50s for late next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Illini fans, be sure to wear orange to support your Fighting Illini basketball team ahead of the Orange Out game against Iowa Saturday, February 24th. Stop into one of Game Day Spirit's Champaign locations and gear up with the best selection of Fighting Illini merchandise in town. Shop their great selection of orange t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and more in store at the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign and 6th and Green in Campustown, or online 24/7 at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit, where Illini fans shop.
Do you have orange pants, McLean?
We don't have orange pants, unfortunately.
Because back in the day, there used to be orange pants wearers.
It used to be a statement.
Yeah, orange socks, maybe?
We got some socks, and now I think about it, we have some of those game bids. It's like the orange and blue stripes. So we do have some of those.
But everything nobody wears orange pants. That was like 1982. But anyway, you've got
did.
Well, yeah, but that's a zillion years ago.
That's right.
Anyway, Game Day Spirit, the official fan store of the Fighting Illini. It's Orange Out tomorrow. McLean Stahl from Game Day Spirit is on the line. You can go to one of their locations and buy it today. Neal and Kirby or 6th and Green. We've got an Orange Out. I just thought maybe you ought to bring 2,000 T-shirts to our friends that'll forget tomorrow and just show up in blue or something, because there'll be those people.
Yeah, no, I'd love for everybody to wear orange, but for those who don't, we are going to bring 1,000 T-shirts for the first 1,000 folks who walk through the doors. To make sure that they're wearing orange for the orange out.
So if you get in early, you get a T-shirt. Dang,
that's great.
What time the doors open there, McLean? What time you open in here? Is it an hour before?
I believe it's an hour before.
Yeah.
I believe it's an hour before tip.
All right, there's your hot tip. 1,000 T-shirts. Game day spirit will be there. Well, what are you thinking? I mean, it's going to be orange, and we're going to be electric. After that game, we're going to come back strong, I hope. Boy. Oh.
I think the last two words there, I hope, are definitely what I'm feeling. No, I mean, it's Iowa. I feel that Illinois Nation always wants to see a win against those guys, and I know Brad and Fran are good buddies, so I'm sure that after was it Wednesday's performance, the boys are going to come out and hopefully we can
I have to really think about when that experience was, but I think you're right.
We blocked it out already.
I think it was Wednesday evening.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was. All right, so plenty of selection, plenty of opportunity, still plenty of time to get whatever new orange you got, because you got so many different things, man. You got all kinds of shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies and everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we've got a lot. I stopped down at the stores yesterday, and we just have so much orange. I think we have a pretty good amount normally, but ahead of tomorrow's game, we've really bulked up and, doing a special on our traditional House of Pain hood. So taking $10 off that if you want to stop in and see us in stores while supplies last. So just a lot of great product, from T-shirts all the way up to some nicer business casual pieces that people will be sure to look good in and make that State Farm Center look good as well.
Some pretty good Illini replica jerseys and the NIL stuff that you guys have going on. I think it's cool. And as sports, I know from experience, because I was on the Jumbotron during one of the games during the jersey dance. Like, if you wear a jersey, you get up during that jersey dance and you're showing your number to the people, and you could get on the big screen, baby.
No, absolutely. I love Illinois' jersey culture, having stores in a few different college markets. It's not the same as it is here. So, and the NIL component is great as well. You can support your favorite athlete by purchasing one of their jerseys, and, a portion of that, the proceeds of that, go back to the athletes. So, it's a win-win for fans and for the athletes as well.
All right, McLean, we'll see you tomorrow. Go get your orange today, folks. Thanks for being on. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys. ILL.
That's how Brett Bielma ends his names. ILLINI. So go get out to game day today. 6th and Green, that's Campus Town, Neal and Kirby, Champaign, one of the most popular intersections. It's game day spirit, and let's go. Get the orange going. Let's get the electricity. It's going to be one of those electric games tomorrow. And I know the Illini fans will lift up this team that was very down after the game on Wednesday, ready to come back. I think it's great we got a game tomorrow.
That's right.
Keep moving, man.
Absolutely.
Keep moving.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Hi, this is Chris Jackson with Kramer Siding and Window. And whatever your project, you can count on Kramer Siding to offer you the best products backed by the best warranties in the business, as well as Central Illinois employees dedicated to providing you with professional installation and a lifetime of great customer service. And right now, you can save 10% on roofing, sunrooms, and decks, get 15% off gutter helmet, and you can save 25% on preservation siding, windows, and doors. So call today or visit us at kramersiding.com and let's get started on your project.
Welcome to Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Hi, I'm looking for a refrigerator.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Oh, yeah, well, I just need a refrigerator. Don't need the whole store.
But you get it, the whole store.
My kitchen is only about this big.
You get me,
Hello?
all those delivery, installation, and service technicians and back.
Wow, all those people?
The Dick Van Dyke 5-10-year protection plan, which means in the unlikely event something goes wrong in the first 5 years, your repair cost is nothing.
Nothing?
10 years parts coverage on the major components.
Looks like I'm getting more than a refrigerator today. How much does this whole store cost?
Nothing. Come on. For real. We guarantee to beat any competitor's deal, all that other stuff we talked about, like our service tax.
And your 5-10-year protection plan?
All included.
I'm Dennis Freakin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. And when we say you get the whole store, we mean the whole store. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Illini fans, this year we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium for the 2024 Fighting Illini football season. Season tickets for the 2024 football season are on sale now, and Illini fans who renew their season tickets by February 1st are eligible to win amazing prizes, memorabilia, and experiences. Secure your season tickets for homecoming, Dad's Day, and a special rededication of Memorial Stadium on October 19th against Michigan. Visit fightingillini.com for more information.
During challenging times, family and health come first. This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Many of us have spent the past year feeling a little bit out of control, but there are steps that you can take to plan for a better financial future. Now is the time to take action and create a financial plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Here's what new customers are saying about Interstate Batteries.
It's nice to see capable and helpful associates. They did a top-notch job.
They were easy to talk to and explained everything.
Service was prompt and I was a walk-in. Total service time was only like 20 minutes. I highly recommend Interstate Batteries.
Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. How much is dependable worth? Experience them for the first time at 2504 North Mattis. Way out there, but worth the drive. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
Visit interstatebatteries.com.
Thank you very, very much, T, for sending a tough game for Caitlin Clark. Air ball on a three-point attempt, missed 3 free throws, only had 4 second-half points. That just doesn't bode well for me. We play him Sunday.
I know.
That's not good.
Number 14, Indiana, took down number 4, Iowa, in women's basketball, 86-69 last night. Caitlin Clark held a 24 points, second lowest of the season. The lowest was back in November when she had 21 against Florida Gulf Coast. So, and again, we took down Indiana on Monday, so this was their bounce-back game. So now Iowa could have a bounce-back game when we face them in Iowa at noon on Sunday.
Not ideal, but we can still do it. Maybe you catch them on a little swoon here.
Right.
Let's go.
So we're due for a bounce-back game because we got punched in the mouth against Penn State, losing by a point. Now we've got Iowa at home with an orange out tomorrow at 1:15.
Let's go.
Go Illini. Number 3, Purdue taking down Rutgers 96-68. Minnesota over Ohio State 88-79. Northwestern over Michigan 76-62. Let's move on to some ball outside where we have Illinois baseball in South Carolina. 2 games today at 2 and 6. Coastal Carolina number 25 and Ball State. In Cincinnati tomorrow at 11. And out in California, our softball team is in action. On to the NBA after the All-Star break. Had the Celtics over the Bulls 129-112. The Pacers over Detroit 129-115. Seems like I'm hearing a lot about Giannis and, the Bucks. Well, they face Minnesota tonight at 9 o'clock. As St. Louis Blues over New York Islanders 4-0. Blackhawks will host Winnipeg tonight at 7:30. In boys basketball, got the regionals going on, and in Monticello, here we talk to McLean Saul. He's a Monticello sage, and they're facing Warrensburg-Lathan, though. Monticello's hosting that regional tournament tonight.
Warrensburg beat Monticello. Unity, the 1 seed. They play Warrensburg for a chance to go to the sectional. First time in 11 years if Unity can win.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, and Chicago Bears Steve McMichael hospitalized a urinary tract infection. Of course, it was 3 years ago that he was diagnosed with ALS. He's 66.
Released, you said?
He just was in the hospital, and they're treating that.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
And I know
Hall
he was
Famer.
on,
He'll be a Hall of Fame now.
Pro Football Hall of Fame, and on Ditka's team back when we won the Super Bowl in '85.
8:48.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Van Vicinity. Off yesterday, showers, a couple of thunderstorms, a little small hail, the cool down to a little more typical midwinter feel expected for the next couple of days. Even the look of the same with a touch of snow in the air in some spots later on this evening. Apart from that, temperatures just as quickly moderate over the back end of the weekend. Big warm up into the first part of next week. Maybe some big storms too to contend with, especially for the day on Tuesday. We'll move into a cooler weather pattern later next week. Turning partly sunny, still mild for the day today, up to 51 with a northwesterly breeze, 10 to 18 tonight, turning breezy colder. A shower of rain, then snow all before midnight, down to 25. Mostly sunny, colder for the day tomorrow. More seasonal highs at 38 degrees. Into the upper 20s and rising tomorrow night. Breezy milder and 57 on Sunday. Maybe it'll rain late Monday. Highs up to about 65. Showers and thunderstorms could be strong in spots Tuesday at 70. A few more showers and in the 50s next Wednesday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, Epidolcious, Greg Soldier.
During challenging times, family and health come first. This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Many of us have spent the past year feeling a little bit out of control. There are steps you can take to help plan for a better financial future. Now's the time to take action and create a financial plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
2 Men in a Truck has been recognized as a trusted leader in the moving industry for over 35 years. Now we are proud to offer that same reliability to junk removal, introducing 2 Men and a Junk Truck to the Champaign area. Our goal at 2 Men and a Junk Truck is to help you make room for what matters most. We can make your garage, attic, basement, house, or business look bigger with our furniture or appliance removal. Contact us today at 2menjuncktruck.com.
When you need to cash out part of your retirement savings. I'm Ginny Cosola with your Fox Business Tax Tip. Coming up.
Kelly's Accounting does all tax types, individual, corporate, trust, partnerships, and estate, plus payroll and bookkeeping services. Your guardian angel in the finance department. Call their Monticello office, 762-5509, or visit kellysaccounting.com.
The required minimum distribution, RMD, is the amount of money you must withdraw from your IRA or other retirement account if you reach the maximum age. CPA John Lieberman, Managing Director of Pearlson Wiener, says if you didn't, you'll be penalized.
If you're age 73 or older, you should have taken out your RMD distribution prior to the year end because there is a 25% penalty on any of these undistributed funds.
If this is the first year you owe, you can pay it on tax day. Ginny Cosola, Fox News.
I sure love Kelly's Accounting. Yeah. They've saved us for years. In fact, my husband Mike is running Joe to pick up his tax forms, a wide range of accounting and tax services. KellysAccounting.com.
All right, we thank you for listening. Don't forget this afternoon you can listen to Long Tay, Derek Piper, and Kyle Tosk. Andrew Tay is also in the regional championship for St. Thomas More.
Okay.
I think they play over at Salt Fork.
Okay.
Do they play Salt Fork? They might. Anyway, there's all your teams are rooting for you.
High School of St. Thomas More is where I'll be tonight for the daddy-daughter dance, and that should be a blast.
And I think that's going to be a lot of dads and daughters.
Uh-huh.
Wonderful.
That's what she said is on stage tomorrow night at the Virginia Theater. Raven Buffo won some tickets from Stevie Jay Broadcasting, so it's a fun weekend ahead with lots of sunshine.
Okay, thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
All right, that's Diane Ducey. I am Stevie Jay. Thank you for listening. We'll be back on Monday between 7 and 9 in the morning. We'll talk all about the weekend. Thank you for listening. ESPN and the Greenie Show coming up. The boys this afternoon after 3 o'clock. Thanks for listening. Have a blessed weekend.
I'm Dr. Jaya Wadawan, and I'm a pediatrician with OSF Healthcare. RSV is respiratory syncytial virus, and it's very common in pediatric patients, especially in the age group of less than 2 years old. In RSV, some symptoms to watch for is fever, cough, wheezing, any difficulty breathing, decrease in appetite. So with COVID and RSV, it's difficult to differentiate the symptoms and the presentation of each. The best thing to do is go to your provider and get a swab for both COVID and RSV. Older people can get it. It presents more of an upper respiratory infection. However, in the pediatric population, it presents more in the lower respiratory tract, which causes more of severe symptoms. Treatment includes supportive care for fever, so that includes Motrin and Tylenol. And if they need further respiratory support, that would include some oxygen support and nebulization. Visit the website osfhealthcare.org.
Think you have to settle for mediocre car insurance to save money? Think again. It's possible to get superior coverage and still save money with Erie Insurance. Customers who switched to Erie saved up to $951. It pays to compare. Switch and save with Erie.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Annual savings based on new customers surveyed in March 2022 who reported savings when switching auto insurance. Individual premiums and savings will vary.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Here's your OSF Healthcare Medical Minute.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ahmad from OSF Pain and Spine Center in Urbana, and I wanted to emphasize the importance of how common back pain and neck pain is and some of the things that can cause that. Back pain is as common as the common flu, and everybody in their life gets some back pain. The most common reason is posture problems or some injuries. And therefore, if initial posture adjustments, some exercises, or anti-inflammatory medicines don't help, it is important to get a hold of a physical medicine rehabilitation doctor to get examined and see if there are any red flags about any nerve injury or get bones looked at by an x-ray.
For more information, visit osfhealthcare.org.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Norm Miller here, chairman of Interstate Batteries. You know, without batteries, life would be pretty lifeless. That's why Interstate All Battery Centers carry them in every size, shape, and style so you can drive, drill, call, film, or do whatever it is you want to do. Stop in today. They've got the power to keep you going. Interstate All Battery Center. Outrageously